Hey guys, it's Eshani, aka Total Makeup Junkie 101. So today I am coming at you with a review video that I didn't really anticipate doing. However, I saw this product pop up on the Sephora page as like an early release kind of thing for the app or something like that. For some reason, the whole idea of early access got me kind of excited, and so I thought, you know what, I'll go ahead and get it so I can review it. And it is the new Too Faced White Chocolate Bar Palette. I didn't have high expectations for this, and I guess that was good to go in with low expectations, because I'll just tell you guys, I really am not that impressed by this palette. Yeah, I think Too Faced does really good, really cute eyeshadow palettes, but not all of them are hits. And I think another thing that convinced me to get this is because the recent Too Faced Just Peachy Matte palette. This is so stinking good. I love this palette so much. I have it on my eyes right now. I've used the absolute living daylights out of it because I really am obsessed with it. I was thinking, you know what? Maybe Too Faced has something. Maybe they're back on their horse. Maybe they are back to doing a good job with their palettes. And then they released this one and I bought it and I tried it and I was like, never mind. Okay, so that's my review in a nutshell. So now if you guys want to know more information about this palette along with swatches and all that good stuff, just keep watching. So first off, like I said, I picked this palette up on the Sephora website. I've also seen it on the Too Faced website. It retails for $49, which is the same price as their other chocolate bar palettes that look very similar. This is what the packaging design looks like. It is exactly the same as their other chocolate bar palettes, like the semi-sweet and the original one. And then this is what the back of the palette looks like. It's in that kind of metal tin container with the magnetic closure. You do get a little bit of a mirror, and then you are getting 18 different shadows in this palette. You can see 2 pans of product are larger than the other 16. So first off, let's get the elephant out of the room. I know you guys are probably looking at this palette and thinking, Eshani, why did you even buy that? Like, this color scheme does literally nothing for me. This is not my preferred color scheme. This is not a palette. If I was just passing this in the store, I would never even stop to swatch the dang thing, because it speaks nothing. Like, it's mute. It's mute in my collection. However, I understand that that is completely a personal preference. I'm sure some people will look at this and think, oh my God, that's so unique. That's so different. It's totally, you know, vibing with what I love. So I still wanted to try it to see if the quality was any good. And I have to say, the quality is just, it's very hit and miss, which unfortunately I feel like is the case with most Too Faced eyeshadow palettes, at least as of late. I feel like, you know, some shadows are great, some are average, some are really bad, and unfortunately they're all put into one palette where you have to purchase the bad ones along with the great ones because it comes in a palette. Even just glancing at this palette, I feel like there are 2 colors that everybody's eye automatically goes to, and that would be this green right here, which I have to say is extremely unique, and it's actually a really good quality formula. And then this lavender purple right here, which again, really unique and a really bad formula. Another few shades that catch my eye, this taupey purple and this peach, but while they're nice shadows, and the quality of both of those is decent, they're not unique by any means. I definitely have these colors elsewhere, probably in an even better formula. So I guess just to show you guys what I'm talking about, let's go ahead and jump right into swatches of this whole palette on my skin so you can see how all of the shadows apply. So here's the top row in the palette. From left to right, we have mint chocolate, glaze, cake batter, exotica, and chocolate syrup. Here's the second row in the palette swatch. From left to right, we have pearl candy, raspberry rose, indulge, lavender cake, guilt-free, and smoked sea salt. And here's the final row in the palette. From left to right, we have frosted apricot, cookie dough, sugared raisin, black sugar, and banana date. So let's go ahead and talk about pros and cons about this palette, because I think that'll kind of help you guys narrow down what exactly is good about this palette that might convince you to get it, and then what's bad about this palette that you might be like, yeah, it's kind of a skip. In terms of the pros, I like the packaging. It's sleek, it's cute, it's effective. I like it. And I think that's about all the pros I have. Really? Eshani, you can probably come up with another pro. Hold on. Ooh, it smells like chocolate. That's another pro. Definitely smells really, really delicious. That's where my pros stop. So in terms of my cons, the color scheme, again, that's gonna be personal preference. For me, it's a con because if we're being honest, if you cover up this mint green and this lavender purple, which doesn't even work anyway, so it doesn't even matter, all of the rest of the shades are a light to medium neutral shade. You do have a black with some shimmer and a couple of medium to dark browns, but everything else in this palette is so light and neutral. I mean, unless you own no other eyeshadow palettes, maybe, but honestly, I would say just grab another eyeshadow palette that has more diverse shades because this just isn't giving you a lot of variation. So many of the looks that you would do with this palette would look so similar to each other. At least if you leave out the green and the purple, I mean, everything else is gonna look the same. Another major con would just have to be the hit and miss texture in this palette. It's really, really unfortunate that Too Faced couldn't, at the very least, get the texture of the shadows nice, so that even if this color scheme isn't necessarily your cup of tea, at least it's a workable palette. The texture of the shadows leaves so much to be desired. Now, some of these are really, really nice. I will say like these three here are really good. The green is really nice. A couple of these matte shades are really good, but then you have some of these lighter matte shades which are really chalky, really, really powdery, and unfortunately those are the ones that come in like the double or like triple sized pans here. Those aren't even good shadows. I don't know why you have just a pound of each of those. I mean, some of these shimmers are really, really beautiful. These mattes over here are really good as well, but for the most part, I don't think I could be more underwhelmed with a palette. I mean, I literally look at it and have zero inspiration. Honestly, I look at it, it's not even like it gives me zero inspiration. It actually makes me just like not even want to use it. Like I don't even want to pick this up. I don't even want to look at this. No. Okay, so now let's go ahead and just do some side-by-side comparisons with the other chocolate bar palettes in case you guys wanted to see the colors side-by-side. So first off, let's compare it to the original chocolate bar palette. I bought mine in the chunky tin. I mean, I've had this forever. So there we have those two palettes side-by-side. On the top, we have the white chocolate bar palette, and on the bottom, we have the original chocolate bar palette. Next up, let's go ahead and do a side-by-side with my favorite chocolate bar palette. This is the semi-sweet. So there we have those two palettes side by side. On the top we have the white chocolate bar palette, and on the bottom we have the semi-sweet chocolate bar. And then finally we will compare it to the chocolate bonbons palette. And here we have those two palettes side by side. The top again is the white chocolate bar and the bottom is the chocolate bonbons. In case you guys are wondering, I don't have those smaller, like the little chocolate chip palettes. I know those did not get very good reviews, so I just never ended up picking them up, so I can't compare those for you. And then finally, for some housekeeping things, this palette says that the bulk was made in the USA and it was assembled in the Dominican Republic. In terms of the amount of product you're getting, the 14 smaller pans of shadow contain 0.95 grams, and then these two larger pans of shadow contain 2.2 grams apiece. That means that you're getting 17.7 grams of product total in this palette, which means that you're paying $2.77 per gram, which actually is a really, really good deal for a high-end palette. But I mean, if the quality of the shadows is lackluster and unless the color scheme is really screaming at you, I would definitely say this is a major pass. It's actually quite unfortunate because I did think these two chocolate bar palettes, the semi-sweet and the original, were really, really good. These are some of my favorite neutral palettes in my collection. And man, guys, this Just Peachy Mattes palette, I know it's not in the same family of palettes, but it came out recently. It's an amazing palette. If you were thinking this one or this one, holy moly, buy this one and thank me later. So yeah, there we have it. That is my thoughts and review on the new Too Faced white chocolate bar palette. I didn't have the highest hopes for it, so even if it was slightly better than expected, I definitely would have been shocked and impressed, and unfortunately, it didn't impress me. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you guys like honest review videos, because I do a lot of these. And yeah, I will talk to you guys in my next video on Thursday. I'll see you then. Bye.